quick shout out to my guy Frank in the back. He's my co-founder and CTO, Frank Albanese. Essentially, Tavern Community is here to bring folks together during the workday to have positive experiences, communal experiences, which is critical, out of some amazing spaces across the city and hopefully eventually the country. We just raised our first angel investment check, so thank God for that. So please, God, this should be the first of many events. Actually, this isn't the first. One of many events that will continue on into the future. Today's event is themed around building community on LinkedIn. We have a wonderful panel here to represent. Sorry, I'm blocking you again. So I'm gonna introduce briefly Donnie, and Donnie will introduce the rest of the panel. Just one other note about logistical items. Number one, if you have not yet received your food for lunch or have experienced any problems, please let me know as soon as possible. I'll be standing in the back after this. Number two, the schedule for the rest of the day. We're going to be doing a panel for about 30 to 45 minutes. Since this is a co-working day, if you have to take a call or just do anything to get work done, you should feel free to do that. But this panel recommended, but not required, and work takes precedence number one. After that, after the panel discussion, we're going to be doing a co-working session. So you can use that however you want. If you want to mix and mingle with people, you can do that. If you want to get work done, you can do that. This is our basic operations, but you should also feel free to take spots anywhere along the way in the lobby. And then at 4 o'clock or 4:30, we're going to be in happy hour. You can redeem your drink tickets at the bar. If you did not receive a drink ticket, please let me know. Quick opportunity. Any questions that folks might have? Okay, excellent. Don't be shy. All right, I'm going to pass it on to Donnie. Donnie is the CEO of the Success Champion Network and is the founder of the Badass Business Summit. SCN is a B2B networking community, and you're co-CEO. CEO is an acronym that stands for Community Education Opportunity.
Wow.
I see what you did there.
I like that.
We host virtual groups focused on opening the right doors for our members. And with that, I'm going to pass it to Donnie.
Thanks. Hey, give a round of applause for Ben and doing all this. Well done. Thank you, Ben. So, okay. So before we get started, how many of you follow me on LinkedIn? How many of you know what do I do on Sundays? Baby Goat Sunday. Okay. So I promised I was going to bring some. So hold on. So I did bring a baby goat. But wait, it gets better. Hold on. Maybe. Wait. It is. No. It's actually an emotional support goat. So I can get on the plane. Right? Wait, there's more. Hold on. So I came all in. So there you go. Take it off. I'll take dollar bills anytime. Throw money. I'm good with that. So how cool. Peyton and I just flew in from Texas to do this. We're flying back out tonight. So we flew in yesterday, coming to hang out. So y'all give it up for Peyton and Magic Production for doing live streaming. Right? And what a cool damn venue. Holy hell. Like, I mean, New York, a little overwhelming. I'm ready to go back to Texas already. Little too many smells, lights, people. I don't know how you guys would do this in the summer. I can't imagine what it smells like, but yeah, stinks to high hell. That's what I like. It's all about the Benjamins. We got it. So I'm going to throw the mic over to these guys. But how cool is it that actually the three ladies got together? Kevin and I just kind of invited ourselves. But the ladies put all the work putting this together. And what a hell of a shindig that on a first time attempt sells out the damn event. So we get a chance to come in and do a live stream. How damn cool is that? I can tell you, I run the Badass Business Summit in Fort Worth, and doing events in general, it's a lot of fucking work, right? Oh, if you don't know my content, be forewarned, all right? So well done, ladies. So I'm going to kick it over to y'all, let y'all introduce yourselves, who you are, your LinkedIn stuff, and then we'll have some fun. Cool? Melissa, start us off, love. I won't need the chair. So you.
Oh, you sure? Okay. Thank you. So, hi, everyone. I am Melissa Cohen. I am so happy to see everyone here. A lot of you I know, some of you I'm meeting for the first time, but thank you all so much for coming. Big thanks to Ben and Tavern for finding this amazing space. And thank you to the Hilton team for such a great job and hosting us. Thank you to Donnie and Kevin for both flying in from Texas. So just so y'all know, we have people here from Texas. We have someone here from North Carolina. We have someone here from Canada, looking at you, my friends. We have someone here from Florida, and there's one other, Delaware. We have someone here from Delaware. So you all mean so much to me, and thank you all for coming. 2 seconds about me. I am a personal brand and LinkedIn strategist. I help you find your voice, build your brand, and build your business on LinkedIn. And everyone that is here is someone that I know because of LinkedIn. And so if I can leave you guys with one takeaway, it's don't miss out on the opportunities on this platform. And Wendy.
Thank you.
Keep that mic close.
Hello, everyone. My name is Wendy Shore, rhymes with entrepreneur, and I have been in the entrepreneurial space for over 25 years. I am thrilled that everybody is here today. There's definitely something about the power of meeting people in real life. Real relationships are formed. I know all of them here up with me from LinkedIn, but I flew out to Donnie's Badass Business Summit in September, and I connected on a much deeper level with everybody that's up here with me. And so when I reached out to Melissa and Deborah, and I said, I'm coming to New York, let's do a LinkedIn local meetup, they were right on it. And Melissa, as you know, reached out to Ben, and the rest, as they say, is history. Here we are all together, deepening connections. If we're not connected on LinkedIn yet, please make sure that we correct that before we all leave here today, because I want to know every single person that's here. And thank you so much for coming and being here with us today.
That was beautiful. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? I am a career coach. I'm a career goals advisor to executives at Fortune 500 companies. I'm a LinkedIn personal branding strategist. I'm a career management top voice. I work with employed professionals and job seekers, and there's a visibility void out there, which is there are people out there that can't get jobs, or they're ghosted, or they go on multiple interviews. And it's this. I'm 59 years old. I've been in the job search world for decades. This is the most brutal job market I've seen in decades. And you have to have a strong LinkedIn presence in order to get noticed. It's a vital thing. It really is. I feel like I know all of you in this room. You know, I met you through the comments. I met you on LinkedIn. I'm so thrilled to be here with all of you. And I love you all so very much.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I'm not so sweet.
We know.
I love being here. I'm a true believer that networking always beats not working. Whether you got a job, whether you're building a business, whether you're just trying to find something new, a new way in life, networking always beats not working. That's what we're doing today. I love the fact that you can do this digitally, right? LinkedIn is an incredible platform to do that. But when you take it from, I always say, take it from in real life, it's even better. There's a multiplier that goes on when you can actually hug people, right? Talk to people and really see them and get to know them. And that's why I'm excited to be here. So I'm also here with my lovely wife. I don't know where she is.
Way in the back.
She's the better half of the business and the brains. And so she keeps me in control as well. So, but thank you for having me.
So awesome. So I want to get shirts made that just say because of LinkedIn, because the things that have happened because of how active I got on the platform. I mean, all this has happened because of LinkedIn. You know, how many of you run your own company? Show of hands. Okay. You know, when we worked for other people, we had the hallway talks, the water cooler conversations, the break rooms, the random pop-in meetings. When you're running your own company, you don't get that stuff anymore. So you have to learn to build a community so you can bring everybody together. So I'm going to kick it over to you guys. How did you guys go about starting building your community on LinkedIn itself? Just the beginning. So take it like they've never touched LinkedIn in their life. How did they get started building a community?
So for those of you who don't know my story, I joined LinkedIn in 2008 because I went back and looked at my profile to see when did I join. And the first time I took any action was 2020. So I sat there with a really dormant profile for 12 years, right? Because it was where your resume went to die, right? That's the old LinkedIn. And so during the pandemic, I actually lost my job. And I lost a lot of my own sense of self-identity and self-worth along with that, like full transparency. I felt like, who am I if I can't say that I'm a brand VP for Ralph Lauren, right? Because that's what I said for many years. And so I really came to the platform, one, to find a new job, and two, also because I was craving human connection. I live here in New York City. The lockdowns in COVID were brutal. And so I first started by commenting. And so that's a huge piece of advice that I give anyone that I work with. Never underestimate the importance of comments. I actually think comments are more important than content. And I know that that's, thank you. I love,
Mic drop.
I love.
Show's done, guys.
My work here is done. You know, the content's important, right? For sure, but it is not everything. And I think commenting it's really where magic happens. It's where relationships start, and it's where you really get to know one another. So never, ever underestimate the importance of that.
I have nothing left to say.
Sorry.
Ditto.
No, that's okay. Right. No, the comments are definitely the best place for connections, right? It's like when you're at a networking event and people are talking on stage, that's great because you can learn a lot, but really the real connections are made in the hallway, right? And so LinkedIn comments are like the hallway. And I got started on LinkedIn not during the pandemic. I was on Clubhouse during the pandemic and making connections and meeting a lot of people, and people talked about LinkedIn. And to me, LinkedIn at that point was still the place you went to put your resume. And I had no clue. And so when Clubhouse changed, I was no longer on Clubhouse. And I said, you know what? Let me try this thing called LinkedIn. And it was real conversation and business conversation. And, you know, I am a business person, and that's who I am, and that's what I talk about, right? So I saw these great conversations going on with great people, and I was like, wow, I think I found home. So that is how I got started, and then it just branched out. And any chance I have to connect and meet people, I take advantage of it. Is there a train going up above me? Welcome to. So anyway, I could talk louder than the rain, that's for darn sure. I am actually a native New Yorker. I live in Florida now, but I am a native New Yorker. In case you couldn't hear it, I'll have some water. No, just and so LinkedIn was home, and I'm thrilled. And it just gets better and better as I meet more and more and more wonderful people on the platform, and then take it into real life.
Switching.
We'll play musical mics.
I like it. Yeah, because you want a mic, right?
I like the mic in my hand.
All right. I've been on LinkedIn since 2004. So that's 20 years. So I'm kicking it old school. Okay. They sent me when you celebrate your 20th anniversary, they send you a little badge and they say LinkedIn is better because of you. Happy anniversary. Yes. Isn't that nice? You have something to look forward to. I was on, here and there. What changed it for me was COVID. I was doing a lot of contract work. I worked for other people before COVID, and then COVID hit, and all that work went away. And I said, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? And I said that my business is my responsibility, and the power is in my hand. And I just started posting on LinkedIn and reaching out to people. My LinkedIn has taken off recently, but it's been a slow slog. There's no overnight success. You work hard, and then your time comes. And this is my time, right? This is my time. No, thank you. I've been a proponent of videos. I think you see me outside. I wear different dresses, and I like it. I like being outside. I started that around COVID because they had all these backdrops, and it looked fake to me. I said, I need to go outside. I need to be with the people. I need to be where the trees are and the flowers. And it's great. I live in New York. There's different seasons. I started out with 25 views on videos. I recently had a video that went to 2 million views. Yes. So, so LinkedIn for a very long time was not into video. They didn't like it. The algorithm doesn't like it. They're a very cerebral type of platform where they like verbiage in a picture and verbiage in a picture. And I actually got dinged for years because I had videos, but now videos are a big thing. So I got to test it and try it. And it's all about consistency. Everyone in this room has something really awesome to say. I read your post. You're awesome. You put your heart and soul into every one of them. You just keep going and keep being consistent, and your time will come too.
Nicely said.
Who here was ever assigned a pen pal? Anybody remember that? You wrote, right? It took 3 weeks.
Kevin, your
they
age is
wrote
showing.
back. If you got it, you got to flaunt it, right? But that process of that connectivity was really kind of cool. LinkedIn is those pen pals times 10. Here to take me out of here. It's like, okay, folks, I gotta go.
Kevin, they're a little nervous about you.
To me, that was always the thing about LinkedIn. I grew up in 4 different states. Actually, I had high school in 4 different states: Maryland, New Jersey, and Texas. And I've lived in 4 different countries. And I've done business in 100 cities. I was going around the world, talking to people, getting to know people, breaking bread with them, right, in their houses. A lot of the stuff we were doing, it was hands-on. And the connectivity that LinkedIn provided me with those people, I could see them every day. I could see when their kids graduated. I could see when they got a promotion. I was connected. And so I've been on LinkedIn since 2005, active all the time. I used to post every single day. Now I post once or twice a week. Still actually have a growing viewership. I've got a growing engagement, but it's about building that community to get you there. I don't know if you could start that way, but you can certainly get to that point. And it's about, who do you know? Who do you take care of? What do you share? And one of my things that I love to do is share new information on LinkedIn. I can't do it alone. LinkedIn comes out in waves, right? 5 waves. You're never in the first wave. So those waves are randomized. They are set up in timed waves, and there's 5 of them. So if you want to know the latest on LinkedIn, you can't go to one person. If somebody says, I can tell you everything you want to know, they're not telling you the truth. So I do this with a tribe of people who come to me, and we try to figure out when we see something new. And we share that openly. And it's really kind of cool. That's been part of my community build and my give back. And I love it because before I used to just collect this information. I kept it myself. It's like, why would you do that? Share it, make everybody better. And it's grown from there. So, things like that can be done on LinkedIn really easy. It doesn't cost any money. I love that.
Nice. How many? Go ahead. Clap for him. That was good. Clap for him. That's fine. So, how many of you guys remember Flat Stanley? Y'all remember that? So I'm always looking for content. So sometime this week, you're going to see my emotional support goat in Grand Central at the Rockefeller Tree. We took it. Peyton and I took it all around last night. Just got a whole bunch of pictures of him all over. Name them. I haven't named them. So y'all have to come up. Yes, we'll put it as a contest. Oh, can you see it?
Below that. The next turn.
Nice. So, but talking about content, right? I'm always looking for different ways of things to post. Baby Goat Sunday was just a fluke. People kept telling me to show the farm. I didn't think it worked. And holy hell, I get introduced as a goat guy all the time, right? Or Baby Goat Daddy is the other one I get called, right? But aside from content, you guys talk about commenting is like the greatest thing in the world. How do you comment? How do you find the things to comment on that actually help you build community?
Okay, so before I answer that, I do have to first say Kevin is right. Nobody does LinkedIn alone. Nobody knows everything, but I'm going to tell you all, Kevin knows more than most of us. So if you're not following Kevin, fix that, because you will learn so much about this platform. Commenting. So the worst thing you can do is have AI make your comments. Please, for the love of all that is good, do not employ AI comments.
I'm actually going to start screenshotting. I'm annoyed.
I'll be there with you. I will support that.
We need a hashtag for that.
Okay. Does this work?
Yeah.
Okay. It doesn't, right? It doesn't sound like it.
No, it doesn't.
How's that? All right. Yes. So please, no AI comments. Try to add a meaningful comment, right? Saying great post or thanks for sharing, it's nice, but it doesn't do a lot to move the conversation. And for me, I want my comments to start a conversation. So ask a question if you can. If there's something in the post that you found interesting, you want to know more, you want to know where you found this, that you want to know a resource for it, ask a question. People love to get questions in the comments. And then something that works for me sometimes is I will just find something within the post itself that really resonated with me, right? If it's a, I will find a nugget.
For to follow and
Thank
LinkedIn
you.
nuggets. I meet more people through this gal than anybody else on the platform.
Thank you. I will post back a nugget, right? And I will requote that line to them, and I'll tell them why. Like, what about that line really struck me, and why did that resonate with me? And so if you're really, kind of struggling for how to comment on something, that's definitely an idea that you can use with my website.
What is the question?
How do you find things to comment on, and what do you comment on that build your community?
Oh, okay.
Melissa's just rambling on, so no, I'm totally kidding.
Well, no, because I was thinking, first of all, I send a ton of people to Kevin D. Turner's profile. If somebody asks a question about a feature, and if I don't know the answer, I say, if you're not following him, go check out Kevin D. Turner and just send him a message. He'll help you out. So if anybody wants to know anything, just send him a message. If you're not already connected with him, he'll help you out. Yes. And you do. It's amazing. How do I find to comment on? Well, it has been a little bit difficult. We were talking this morning how a lot of times our feed is not really where we want it to be. But some of the things I do is I'll go to Melissa's section where she's posting the nuggets or she's posting who to follow, her for to follow, and I'll see what's there and things that resonate with me, I will comment on it, right? And I'll go to Deborah's and, I'll comment on it. And then what happens then is a lot of you all will pop up in my feed because we're all connected, right? And so then I get to comment on yours and see something that resonates with me. And then what I also find is when you're commenting on people who you don't already know, like in the case where Melissa recommends somebody, that brings me to other people. And LinkedIn has started recommending this person. And I take the moment to look. And if it's not somebody I resonate with, okay, I don't. But if it is, I'll follow them. And if there's a post that resonates with me, I comment on it. And I think it just starts this sort of snowball effect. I know I can't get the mic away. A snowball effect of commenting, right? And meeting other people and being introduced to other people. It takes a little bit of time, right? It takes a little bit of effort, but it's so worth it, right? Because the people you meet then come into your circle and you expand your circle.
I read your posts. Claudia, you love art. Raul, you love marketing. Charity, you love human resources. Carrie Lynn, you can help people make more money and get a bigger salary.
All right, you want to build a community on LinkedIn. That's how you do it. You know what the hell everybody
Lauren,
does.
you
Jeez.
like careers. Amy, you love leadership. Dan, you love working out. Right?
And horses. One horse. Well,
So
horse.
I know I didn't get to everyone, but I read your posts and you share your lives. You share your wins. You share graduations, birthdays, certifications. You share so many different things, and I read them all, and I'm really, truly happy for all of you, and I hope that comes across. My strategy for commenting is love. I give love, right? And I realized that, I grew up in a tough home, a home of child abuse, and I didn't get a lot of love. And what I realized is I started giving love in my comments. And now I feel like I'm getting love back from you. It's not what I wanted. My goal is love, empathy, and healing. And I hope when you read one of my comments that you feel that.
Round of applause.
I always look at comments in the sense that they are conversations. They shouldn't be just a comment. That concept, what Melissa said, great post. That's what I call a drive-by comment, right? Nobody wants to drive by anything. Don't do it. Get in there and really start adding value to the process and asking more questions in your comments. Your comment doesn't have to say, I really enjoyed this. You can say, I enjoyed this, but doesn't work in this industry. Or have you ever thought about doing this? Build that. LinkedIn rewards not comments and not posts. It rewards conversation. If it sees conversations happening in your post, it says, this is of value. I'm going to push this out further. And one of the big things that LinkedIn also looks at is we all have our group of friends. Probably all comment our own stuff. LinkedIn goes, well, those are your friends. They're commenting because they always comment. Getting those people who are that, second and third, and maybe even beyond that, because there's 6 degrees of separation on LinkedIn. Getting those people into the conversation is huge. Sometimes I see people look at that and they go, oh, I don't even know that person. I'm not really going to respond, or I'll just give them a thumbs up. To me, a thumbs up is the gateway to reactions, right? But it's kind of lazy. Give them a heart. Give them something a little more than just that thumbs up, and then put that in the comment. Tell them why you appreciate them being there. And
can I get a thumbs down on the, I want LinkedIn to add a thumbs down.
They did it on audio rooms.
Did they?
They did a thumbs down. LinkedIn doesn't believe you ever do down on anything. It's always positive. So that's the reaction.
I just want to down those AI comments.
Yeah. Well, that would be great. They did have Curious, which got chased off, and I was sad because I actually thought it was one of the reactions that meant something.
Nice. So as you guys are building, I got one quick hack for you. You can use find police as a comment. Go to ChatGPT, type in, I sell to this industry. What do they talk about on LinkedIn? It'll give you a list of topics of things that they talk about on LinkedIn. Go up to the search bar of LinkedIn, put in those topics. Go to post, latest post, and watch your feed start changing about that particular conversations and those topics. So that's worked really well for me recently. So no. Don't use AI commenting, right? You can do all the AI stuff off the platform, right? Just take the knowledge you gain from the AI, then put it on platform. Don't let it write posts or comments or anything for you, right? You need to be original human thought. So talking about building community, like we're all sitting here because we found each other on LinkedIn, we engage, we interact. Kevin put me to sleep with 145 different facts on LinkedIn. No, I'm kidding. That dude is a wizard over there. Nice. So, and if you ever see Kevin comment, it's always the funniest thing because they always put something in on every one of his comments, very consistent in his commenting. So how did this happen? Like, I mean, I know we talked, we engaged, but really if these guys want to build community, how did this all come together? Do you think it was just commenting? Was it, did we take from the comments to Zoom calls? I mean, in your guys' opinion, how did this all form?
So I like to think of LinkedIn as my virtual coffee shop.
Yeah.
Right? My virtual Starbucks, my virtual water cooler. Commenting for sure. But there's other ways to engage on the platform, and I would say take advantage of all of them. There is a DM feature. Please use with caution. This got a lot of reaction at your Babs panel, so yes. I'll say it again. Please don't pitch slap people, which means the minute you connect with them, you start selling them something because nobody wants to buy from you the minute they meet you. I don't care if you're selling the best thing ever. They don't want to buy from you before they even know you. But take some of those conversations to DMs. Offer to set up a virtual meeting, a virtual coffee, and don't make it salesy. Don't make it about what you're selling. Make it because you're genuinely curious about who they are as a person. LinkedIn has a robust LinkedIn Live feature. They recently,
which we're live right now, by the way.
That's right, we're there now.
Everybody turn away.
Thank you, Peyton. They recently revamped the audio rooms, so they're a little different, but they do still exist.
I thought they were doing away with them.
They exist, but they basically function as a LinkedIn Live without visual.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, like you need a StreamYard or a third-party platform now. They're different. But take advantage of those, right? I enjoy hosting those rooms. I enjoy attending those rooms. And I'm going to share a tip that my very dear friend Leslie, who's here, shared on one of our LinkedIn Lives. If you are attending a LinkedIn Live, there is a third tab that most people ignore, right? There's the informational tab, there's the commenting tab, and there's a networking tab. And that networking tab allows you to reach out to anyone who attended that event. And that's a really great way to connect with new people, find new people to meet with and to speak with. So this all comes about because I'm very intentional about taking those LinkedIn relationships off the platform and moving them into real life, however that's possible, whether it's in person or it's a call or it's a message or all of them.
Yeah.
Okay, again, nothing left to say. No, you know what? Melissa is very talented when it comes to connection, right? She is friendly. She is very kind. She doesn't drive in the street, so she's very nice. You drive. Exactly. She's not driving, so she's also very nice. No, just kidding. I mean, you are very nice, but that's not the reason.
I don't drive, so it's all true.
Yes. I just want to talk about AI for 1 second because AI is a great tool. You should not be using AI. In fact, you should be using AI and you should find out as much as you can, especially when it comes to the large language models. But you should not use it to completely write your content. First of all, it still gives you false information, right? So you have to be a subject matter expert when you're using it. But to get ideas from it, and Donnie, that was fabulous. I am a business growth expert, and what are my people talking about, right? And I'll put that in the comments, or I'm a LinkedIn growth expert. Put that in the comments. See what people are talking about. That's a fabulous idea because that's how now we were talking about how can we connect with people who we don't already know. Well, that's one way to find them, right? So that was a great idea. And it's something I'm going to try when I go home.
And if Liam's lost and still, Perplexity.ai will even give you better results.
Perplexity is great. Perplexity.ai is fabulous. I used to love Claude. I think Claude changed. ChatGPT is still, and then Perplexity, you can find anything. And what it does is it gives you the answer. So it's like when you Google something, you don't want a gazillion things. You want the answer. So it gives you the answer. And then it tells you where it got the answer on Google, I'm sure. But so what was the question again?
How did this all come about?
So this came about because we were connecting in the comments.
Okay, your time's up. I'm kidding.
No, we were connecting in the comments. We were literally connecting in the comments. And here's what happened. Deborah posted, and I read your posts, and I listen to your videos. And she said, "Oh my God, I can't believe I'm going to Dallas." Okay. Wow. And then she talked about the Badass Business Summit.
Badass Business Summit.
And then Melissa was going to be on a panel. And I'm like, I get to see the three of them. That's fabulous. Oh, and Kevin's going to be on the panel? Okay. I am making my plane reservation today. And that is really exactly what happened. And then I knew them from LinkedIn and a little bit of we met on a Zoom call. Mm-hmm. I briefly met Melissa at LinkedIn headquarters last year, but briefly, I didn't know her yet because I had just gotten on the platform myself. And it just got deeper and deeper, and we connected and we stayed in touch. Right? And that's one thing we learned with Donnie. But you help each other out and you grow together because as solopreneurs, right, we want to help each other out. We want to see each other succeed and grow and give each other tips and and tell us how to use LinkedIn and how to do video and how to get millions of views. No, just kidding. Okay, I'm going to pass this on because I've now rambled, but just thank you everybody for being here. It's fabulous. Hold on.
All right, thank you. All right.
We've got 5 minutes. We're
All
good.
right. All right. You build relationships here one comment at a time. One comment at a time. One comment after one comment after one comment. I actually think posting is the easy part, right? Because if you're here and you're content creators, you can create. You know how to write. You know how to do stuff. It's not hard for you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be on LinkedIn. The chat. What takes the most time is commenting on other people's posts. Right? That's where the magic is. That's where you get to meet people. How you grow on this platform, I believe, is through collaboration. Right? We were able to fill this event, which is amazing to me, without any advertising at all. All we did was comment, post, cross. The way you grow is through collaboration, and the people you're going to collaborate are the people that are in this room right here.
Hey, Kevin, right before you go, in about 4 minutes, we're going to throw it out to you guys for Q&A. So get your questions ready if you have things specifically you want to ask. Go ahead, Bubba.
I'm not even sure where the question is anymore. Do we have another question now?
How did this all come about? Like everything from Babs to this to all this. I mean, how did it all come about?
I think it was good people wanting to know more about other people. And how can I help you? How can you help me? It is that kind of reciprocity that once you start talking with people, you'll understand what you can do for them, what they can do for you, and you can open those discussions up. So whether it's in the comments, whether it's in joining audio rooms, whether it's, getting into the DMs and sending them, hey, I found something you might be interested in. Get in that share process without thinking about what can I get back from it, right? That's not where you should be. It never works. You ought to be thinking about building relationships that are mutually beneficial to each other. If they're not, move on, because you're going to waste your time and their time. That's what you should be doing.
Nice. And the other thing that I'll add in there is go to the different LinkedIn events, not just the live, but people do all kinds of events outside. Same trick where you can go network and see who's all, even if they don't attend. If they just signed up to go to the event, you get a free message to them to say, hey, thanks. I see we're both going to the same event. Would love to learn more about what you do, right? Just to get the conversations going. So what's the best, outside of commenting, what's the best thing they can do to get super active on the platform? Outside of commenting, we've talked about that a lot. What else could they be doing?
Posting, sharing your knowledge. Believe it or not, everybody in this room's got something that everybody else wants to know about. And if you can put that out there, people will respond.
People listen to Baby Goats, for Christ's sake.
There you go. It is fascinating how much people do want to know about you, right? They do want to share. They also want to connect. If they're feeling a little down, they want to share the down sometimes with you. If they're feeling really up, they want to share that as well. But they want that community. And, when we went through COVID, I think a lot of us were out there on Clubhouse and other places. We all wanted to talk. And that's really what it was. And we wanted people to listen to us. And then we wanted to hear about what were they going through. So keep that going.
Yes. Come to in-person events like this one, right? Because we all know each other online, and now we get to know each other on a much, much more deeper level.
When I first started speaking on Clubhouse and then even posting on LinkedIn, I was really nervous to do it, right? I know, I am a fairly confident person. I'm definitely not quiet. And I was really afraid. I was really, what are people going to think, right? And yet I did have all this knowledge. I've been in business for over 25 years. So you have something that somebody needs to hear. And if you can help one person with your post, whether it's a video or a post, if you can help one person, then you need to post. And just think of that. If you're nervous, if you're like, what should I talk about? What nobody wants to hear. Think about that one person that you can help and press the post button and do it. It's going to make a difference to somebody. Believe me when I tell you. And I've heard it in my DMs. Thank you for this information. So you're going to hear it too.
All right, so this time I'm going to build on your answer. I have nothing else to say now. No, it's true. The biggest piece of advice I would give is just get out of your own way. Like, get out of your own head. Don't think you have nothing to offer. Don't think that no one cares what you have to say, because people do care what you have to say. And, LinkedIn is an overwhelmingly positive platform. I spent about 45 seconds on Twitter, and I was
Longer
like,
than I
yep,
lasted.
nope, not for me. I joined Instagram probably about 2 months ago, and Instagram is very pretty. And it's very fake, and it's very curated.
They approve.
Thank you. It is everybody's highly filtered, highly curated, best version of themselves. And it's not to say some of that doesn't exist on LinkedIn, but what makes LinkedIn different to me is you're posting under your real name, right? You're not hiding behind some screen name. And so in that way, it's sort of a self-policing platform, and people are not going to be overwhelmingly negative. I have had 99.9% positive experiences on the platform. So don't hold yourself back, and don't worry what people think.
And I'm going to say it a little bit harsher, and then get ready to raise your hand for Q&A. So when we do Q&A, I'm going to be passing the mic to you so we can pick it up on the audio and the live stream, okay? If you have any knowledge that could impact and change somebody's life, if you don't share that, you're selfish as fuck. It's the best way to look at it, right? You could literally change somebody's life with your information. Don't be selfish. Share that shit out there. Questions, let's go.
Perfect segue, although I'm not going to swear. If you guys could, we're all solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, something, right? At the end of the day, being selfish doesn't feed your family. So if you could share a story where you've taken your LinkedIn experiences and turned it into something that generated revenue that you can actually run your business. Any one of you with a story.
9 months in, I was hired by a Fortune 500 to come in and train all their sales team, all because they followed me on LinkedIn for 6 months. So,
I mean, for me, it is my business now, right? And so for me, I completely pivoted my business. I worked in the fashion industry for 30 years, and I decided I was burned out and I hated it and I didn't want to do it anymore. And so my entire business now is helping people to understand how to leverage LinkedIn and how to utilize it. So for sure, it's been a game changer for me. And hopefully someday I will do the corporate thing. But right now, it's really one-to-one. But for sure, it's been game changing.
So my business has pivoted a little bit, where LinkedIn growth is part of what I do, but it's business and LinkedIn growth. And I think when you're putting out your message that could help somebody with the right call to action, right? Because a lot of times you post and you don't have a call to action. So, and to one thing, don't be doing this, and this. You could do a whole bunch of things, but when you're on LinkedIn, it's one thing and it's one call to action to that one thing. And it can be DM me, and you will find people. If it is, people will reach out in your DMs. And sometimes you're doing meetings that don't result in anything, but other times they do. So the point is to just keep putting your information out there, have the one right thing that you're leading people to, and the one call to action per post that's going to get them to that one thing.
I don't get a lot of direct business from a post. Some creators do. They do a post and then they take a look and see, how good was that post, or how many clicks did I get, how many DMs did they get. I don't usually get that, but what I get is referrals, right? So because I'm on LinkedIn, and I'm on LinkedIn on a regular basis, people see me. And they refer people to me because I'm on the platform. And I don't think I would get as many referrals if I was not on LinkedIn on a regular basis.
I look at LinkedIn, it's a free advertising platform, right? If you get in there and you get active, you can buy that same exposure and be able to afford it and run a business. It's there and it's free. And if you do it right, your business will grow. I've been basically LinkedIn based in my business generation for about 14 years. We get everything from that. And yeah, you do get referrals, you do get returns, but it all starts there. And, you look at what kind of exposure you can get. If you really start working at millions of views is not unusual. Hundreds of thousands of engagements is not unusual. You can turn that into business, sheer number wise, and it's free. Just time.
One more really funny one. Stacy Electo, who's a copywriter, found me because of the damn baby goat videos and is now a client of mine. So that's real.
Okay, so is this? Okay, this is I'm coming with the job hunter hat. Because as you know, corporate definitely has a hiring season, and to be laid off or to be, let go of your contract in the fall is the work of the devil because you have holidays and you're not going to get started interviewing until January 15th. Last season, I interviewed with 7 companies. Each had 2 to 7 rounds. The stat on that came back 4 written no's, 2 ghosts, 1 offer. I thought that was terrible stats, right? That has changed. So knowing that my job bootstraps my dream, I need to keep working. And I can see today that branding yourself on LinkedIn is imperative, but how does a job hunter do this with enough finesse to not scare away a hiring manager? Oh, this person is looking to build a business. I need a worker bee. I need someone that's going to work and not be concerned about a brand. So we want to attract hiring managers. So can you give us 3 key action items as a job hunter to attract hiring managers and the right recruiters to where we're building a brand, but not scaring them away to have them think we're going to be posting on the job?
Great question.
So I think LinkedIn is for everyone, right? And I don't think your stats were bad at all. The whole reason I left corporate was after an absolutely horrific experience with ghosting and with having a job basically no longer exist after I had gone through like 8 rounds of interviews. So it's everywhere. 3 things you can do. I mean, this is Deb's wheelhouse, so definitely we'll learn from Deb. But 1, have a complete profile, right? I think a lot of people make the mistake of having an incomplete profile or something that's very out of date. 2, a professional looking headshot. Right. I see that mistake. And there's Alyssa, our headshot lady. That's right. See, Alyssa. I think a lot of people make that mistake. And, I was a hiring manager for many, many years. And I will tell you, I absolutely looked at people's LinkedIn. Of course I did. And sometimes you see profile pictures that you're like, really? I don't know if that's the most professional image you want to put out there. 3rd, I truly believe, and listen, it depends on the level of the role that you're looking for. It depends on the sector. But I think it only is an advantage if you position yourself, and I'm sorry, this is a very overused term, but if you position yourself as a thought leader. A thought leader, are you talking about the relevant trends in your industry? Are you talking about relative news that's important in the sector that you work in? If I'm looking to hire somebody and I see that you're talking about things that are important, you're immediately in higher standing with me, right? Because I think, oh, there's someone who's really clued into what's going on in the industry. And I also will be watching how you engage with people, right? Are you courteous? Are you kind? Are you, a good partner as far as having a conversation on the platform?
What I'm going to do is I'm going to give it to Deb first, and then I'm going to come back, right? Because I want to make sure what she's going to say. Yeah.
Yes.
Is that okay? Can I
Yes,
give it
yes.
to you first?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So I'm the job seeker person. All right. So what you need on your profile, you need a beautiful profile picture. You need a colorful banner. Has to be colorful so it stands out. Those are the 2 top things that people see. You need results, bullets in your work history. People just say what they do. How have you left these jobs better than you found them? I want to see numbers. I want to see results. Very, very important. And to post what happens with job seekers. And I was saying earlier, this is one of the brutal job markets I've ever seen in decades, is people get angry and they start to post angry stuff. Sometimes they're upset, and they're right to be upset, but that's not what employers want to see. So post stuff. You can still brand yourself, post stuff about your industry, showcase yourself as a thought leader. Okay. Also, take dates. On LinkedIn, the only place you can't take dates off is in your work history. Everything else, take it out. If you have a certification that's a few years old, I see education, people in their 1990s, 2002, take off the dates, but be active on the platform and connect with recruiters and connect with people. And I can't guarantee this. What's going on in the job force right now with the ghosting and the 10 rounds of interviews, I can't promise you that's going to change. I actually don't see that changing for a little bit, but I do know that if your profile, you have a strong LinkedIn presence, it's going to make a difference. You're going to get more interviews. You're going to get more activity because they like what they see.
You know, I think, truthfully, I think they summed it up pretty well. You know, I would take it from the position of somebody looking to hire somebody, because when I had multiple restaurants and then also when I sort of led a skincare company, from a hiring standpoint, I'm competing with. Oh yeah, you think you could be louder than me? No, I'm just kidding. I think that you want to showcase what you've actually done and not the skills, but how did you solve a problem? In my last company, this is what happened, right? All the posts that you put should be industry relevant and show how you see things maybe in a different light. So this is what's going on in the industry. And I think you could say it's a good move or a bad move, right? Because here's the thing. If you get hired and you're not not going to survive anyway, right? But don't be negative, right? But you could definitely put thought, right? Because people do want people to think for themselves. Now, if you have a side hustle going on and you're looking to grow your side hustle and you're looking for, okay, so it's just, but for those who are and those who do, if you're looking for a job, you can't be growing your side hustle on LinkedIn. If you're looking to build your side hustle, then you're not looking for a job in LinkedIn. You have to pick one and stick with the one. So what's more important to you at this moment? And that's what you have to put your whole effort into. So I think just really showcase your difference and thought leadership before I hand it to Kevin.
Sorry, I did think of one other thing that's important, because I do profile work with job hunters as well. One mistake that I really see is people use the about section to regurgitate their resume. So please don't do that. Your experience section is your resume, and your resume is your resume. So use your about section to really tell a bit of your story. And that is where, as Deb said, make sure you're highlighting your big wins, right? Those big KPIs. You know, you increased revenue by X million of dollars. I shortened lead times by X number of days. Anything that's really going to stand out to a hiring manager, make sure you're putting in that about section.
And the
I didn't want to forget that.
Yes, and if you're building your side hustle, remove the people you work with, remove them from your connections.
Don't post about it. Like, seriously, because even if you remove the
Hold on, take the mic. Take the mic.
We are never letting Kevin speak. I know it's painful to say, but if you're in a job search, don't talk about your side hustle, because even if you remove those connections, if a connection comments on it and they're connected with someone you don't want to see it, they'll still see it.
Right.
So unfortunately, it is an either or.
Yes.
All right, Kevin.
You know, I look at LinkedIn a little differently from the way LinkedIn looks at itself. It is a business. Here with us, there's a lot of social good to the site, but it is totally a business. It now has, I think it's 1.3 million plus profiles, right? Profiles are resumes. Actually, if you look into the code of LinkedIn, it says resume, not profile. They're a business that is focused on servicing recruiters. It's a $17 billion business. $11 billion comes from recruiters paying that $1,000 a month to get LinkedIn Recruiter. And what LinkedIn Recruiter does is it breaks down the process of separating the database. Everybody's heard of 6 degrees of separation, have you? Right? That's why LinkedIn cuts you off at 3. You ever notice you can't see 4, 5, and 6? They sell 4, 5, and 6 to you, or you to 4, 5, and 6. That's the business model of LinkedIn. So you gotta understand it is a business. And if you get a business that's grown as much as LinkedIn has, and now you've got 1,300,000 profiles, right? Resumes. Think about that like a filing cabinet. If I let everybody put their own file together and then give it a name and stick it in the filing cabinet, how would you find that file? You can't, right? It would be a total mess. It would be 1.3 billion profiles in a cabinet wouldn't be any value. So for LinkedIn to make money, they have to sort the profiles. One of the things that people don't understand, when you're building out your profile, there's a lot of places that have little boxes like title, company name, type of work. Is it, full-time, part-time, hybrid, remote? All those things are actually categories. LinkedIn's trying to give you the clue saying, if you use these categories, I can then find you, I can then provide you to a recruiter, and a recruiter will call you. People use titles like, we did a transition of the head of HR for Yahoo many years ago. His title, internet-based company, was Cloud9 Navigator. Can anybody tell me what a Cloud9 Navigator does? That was on his business card. That was in HR, right? That was on his LinkedIn profile, and he couldn't understand why nobody was contacting him. We looked at what he did, and he said, you're the chief human resource officer. You're like number 4 in the company. We changed it, and immediately within a week, he was scalped off LinkedIn. That was just getting the market value filter right for titles. Companies give us titles, I think, sometimes to make sure nobody can find us, right? A lead of something, and global. Throw global on the end. They do that on purpose. Sometimes you've got to go out and say, what would every other company call me for what I do? Use that title, and then in the description say, as Chief Human Resource Officer, internally known as the Cloud9 Navigator, I do this. Now you're searchable. Now you're findable on LinkedIn. That's huge. The other component of LinkedIn as a business is they're a data business. They're selling data, right? They're selling members to other members. Believe it or not, we're not the customer. We're the product. That's why there's not a phone number for us to call, right, when we need help, because we're the product. We don't need phone numbers. Navigator, Recruiter, they all have phone numbers to call when they need help. They're the customers. The thing that customers want is accurate data, complete data, and timely data. Think about if you were buying, let's say, an email list, and you wanted to email, and I said, I got a great list, 500 names. It's 15 years old. It's $10. I've got a 500 list. It's 2 weeks old, and I guarantee that most of it's accurate. Which has more value? The one that is timely, that is complete and accurate. That's what LinkedIn wants from you. So that's why they say, I want a complete profile. They want that to be complete. When they say they want accurate, they want to have information that they can verify so that they can then say that's true. The timely piece of it, that is your activity. And believe it or not, there's a lot of different kind of research out there. People who are active on LinkedIn, when they go back and they look and they do the research of how did somebody find my profile? Usually within the single digits is they found me in a search, that little search box at the top, right? Majority of it, like 95% of it, or somewhere in there, is that they found you through activity. LinkedIn knows if you're active on LinkedIn, that your profile content must be true, right? Because you wouldn't be active and leave something that wasn't true anymore. And so that's huge. If you're going to get out there and you need to get that income running, and I get that, I've done that. I did that while working for other companies. I didn't hide it. I put it right out there, but I had my explanation built into it. And you've got to take one stance or the other. But when you do that, you can run that parallel, but you got to have the reasoning why you want to step away from it. And the easiest thing, if you want a big corporate job, but you're doing a side gig, easy thing is, you know what, when I started this, I did this so that I could get to the next point, so I could maybe get a couple certificates in the process, whatever it is. But I don't want to do it forever because I don't step away. The other component of it is companies want people who are efficient on LinkedIn. They now want you to start commenting. They don't know why or how they're going to do it, but they want that. So when they see it, they go, you can represent your
One important thing is you want to share quickly how folks follow you. I guess it's just your name.
Yeah, follow us on LinkedIn. It's all over.
I guess for most other groups, it's Instagram or whatever, but it's pretty clear. First,
Any of y'all have Instagram? No. TikTok? No. Just LinkedIn.
so first, thank you very much to our panelists. Thank you all for coming today. Just to explain the structure of the rest of the day. We want to make sure that we have communal experiences, so communal lunch, the panel. This is now more individual time. If you want to spend the time hanging out, asking questions to our panelists, or mingling with each other, that's fine. If you need to get work done, you have both of these rooms available. And also, if you need to take like a call or something, feel free to spread out into the rest of the lobby. At 4 or 4:30 p.m., we're going to do a happy hour. I have drink tickets. If you have not yet received a drink ticket, please come find me afterwards. It'll give you like 2 minutes because I have to find it. Come find me afterwards, and we'll be reuniting for that. So thanks, everyone, and let me know if you have any questions.
Thanks, guys. I will be putting a post on LinkedIn and have you help me name it and go.